My girlfriend kissed another guy at the party, while someone yelled, "Your girl just got claimed." They filmed my reaction to humiliate me. A week later, the entire plan leaked, and her perfect little world went up in flames. Hey Reddit, ever watch someone dig their own grave and hand you the shovel? That's basically what happened when my girlfriend and her crew set me up. Here's the full story from day one. I've been with Ivy, my girlfriend, for about a year and a half. I'm 27, she's 24. I'm the quiet type, work in IT, hang out with a small circle. Ivy's the opposite. Life of the party, super outgoing, knows everybody, can walk into a room full of strangers and leave with 10 new friends. At first, I thought it was kind of cool how different we were. Lately, not so much. Because the week before Hudson's birthday party, stuff started feeling weird. Hudson, her longtime friend, throws these big parties at his apartment downtown, 30, 40 people crammed in, music loud, people hanging out on the balcony, drinks everywhere. I only know him because of Ivy. We're friendly, but not close. Then there's Dylan, the one always filming. Part of that same group, making dumb jokes in group chats. Funny dude, but can be kind of an instigator. Nora, Hudson's girlfriend, is chill, more low-key than the rest. We've talked a few times, but mostly small talk at parties. That's the whole crew, at least the people who matter for what happened. So, a few days before the party, Ivy was on her phone non-stop. Like, non-stop. Laughing at messages, screen lighting up every few seconds. When I asked what was so funny, she said, "Hudson and Dylan are being idiots," then put her phone face down. I didn't think much of it until one evening when I was at her place. She was in the shower, phone buzzed, and the preview lit up the screen. Dylan, this is gonna be hilarious. I didn't touch her phone, but that message stuck in my head. What's hilarious? 2 days later, Ivy brought up the party again. "Levi, you have to come," she said, all excited. "It won't be the same without you." She grabbed my arm like this party was a big deal. Usually she doesn't care if I tag along, but this time she kept asking if I was definitely going. "Yeah," I told her. "Why wouldn't I?" She grinned. "Good. You need to relax anyway. It's gonna be fun." The way she said it, like she knew something I didn't. Friday, Ivy was still glued to her phone. This time I saw a name I didn't recognize. Sebastian. "Who's Sebastian?" I asked. "Oh, old friend from college," she said quickly, then changed the topic to what we should wear to the party. She has tons of friends, so normally I wouldn't care, but the way she answered so fast, like she wanted to shut it down, didn't feel right. By Saturday, I convinced myself I was imagining things. Group chats get stupid sometimes. Dylan loves drama. Maybe Hudson's just hyping up his party. But when we got there that night, something felt off. First thing I saw was Dylan near the living room, phone already out, like he was waiting to record something. Hudson came over, gave Ivy this look. Not a normal, "Hey, thanks for coming" look. More like, "You ready?" There were 30 people in there easy. Music blasting, people packed shoulder to shoulder, balcony full. Ivy was in her element, hugging everyone, laughing like she owned the place. I hung back in the kitchen where I could see the whole living room. About an hour in, the door opened. Some tall guy walked in, confident, like he knew half the room already. Ivy spotted him instantly. "Sebastian!" she yelled, running over. So that's him. She hugged him a little too long, started talking close, laughing at whatever he said, hand on his arm when she laughed. I noticed. People noticed. Every few minutes, someone glanced at me. Not at them. At me. Like they were waiting for something. Hudson kept looking over with this grin. Dylan had moved closer, phone up, like he was framing a shot. Sebastian leaned in to whisper something. Ivy laughed, smacked his chest lightly like some rom-com move. A few people chuckled under their breath. Hudson came over, clapped me on the shoulder. "Glad you made it, man," he said. "Gonna be a fun night." The way he said fun made my skin crawl. I nodded, pretending I didn't see Dylan angling his phone straight at the living room. That's when it hit me. Whatever was about to happen, I wasn't in on the joke. And everyone else was. But I was standing in the kitchen talking to two guys when Hudson clapped his hands loud enough to cut through the music. "All right, everyone," he yelled. "We're doing a quick game of truth or dare." Groans, laughs, people moving toward the living room. I stayed where I was at first, but Ivy waved me over. "Come on, Levi," she said, like it was no big deal. I figured whatever, it's just a party game. People sat in a circle on the floor and a few chairs. Hudson fussed with the seating for space, but he angled the circle so I had a clean sightline to Ivy and parked Dylan directly opposite me with the camera already up. I ended up on the edge of the circle. Ivy was across from me. Sebastian sat 2 spots to her left. Hudson grinned like he'd been waiting all night for this. He spun the bottle. It landed on some girl I didn't know. She chose truth. Got asked some embarrassing question. Everyone laughed. Normal party stuff. Second spin landed on Ivy. Hudson smirked. Truth or dare? Ivy crossed her arms, acting like she was thinking hard. Dare. Hudson leaned in, clearly enjoying himself. I dare you to kiss. He paused like he was picking at random. Sebastian! A couple people laughed right away. Dylan was already raising his phone. At first, I thought it was just a dumb spur-of-the-moment dare. People make out at parties during truth or dare sometimes. But then I noticed Hudson glancing at Dylan like, you ready? Dylan nodded slightly, camera steady in his hand. Ivy didn't hesitate. She smiled big, turned to Sebastian, and before I could process what was happening, she was kissing him. Not a peck. Not some quick, awkward thing to get it over with. She put her hand on his cheek. He put a hand on her back. Full-on kiss in the middle of the circle while people hooted and whistled. Whoa! Someone yelled. Okay, okay. But nobody actually wanted it to stop. I froze. My brain just stalled out. I saw Dylan zoom in on them. I heard someone laughing way too loud. People looked at me, waiting for some big reaction. One guy yelled, Levi, looks like your girl just got claimed. Like it was the funniest thing in the world. I just stood there. It went on way too long for a stupid dare. When Ivy finally pulled back, she was smiling. Sebastian looked half confused, like he wasn't sure what he'd just walked into. Hudson grinned like he'd just pulled off the prank of the century. Dylan kept filming. Ivy saw me standing there. Instead of looking embarrassed or apologetic, she shrugged like, what's the big deal? People laughed again. This weird mix of awkward and entertained. I walked out. Nobody tried to stop me. Outside, the air was cold. I sat in my car with the engine off, hands shaking. I wasn't even angry yet, just numb. Ivy didn't call, didn't text. When I checked Instagram later, she had posted a story of her and Sebastian at some diner with a couple others from the party. Caption, single girl summer vibes like I didn't exist. The next day around noon, she finally texted, hey babe, what's up? I stared at it for a long time before answering. Are you serious right now? She replied fast. Don't tell me you're actually mad about last night. You kissed another guy in front of everyone while Dylan filmed it. Levi, it was a party game. It didn't mean anything. That wasn't just a game. That was humiliating. God, you're so dramatic. You act like I slept with him or something. It was just a dare. We argued back and forth. She kept saying I was being possessive, that I couldn't handle a joke, that everyone thought it was funny, and I was the only one upset. I didn't know what to say. Because yeah, technically it was a dare, but it felt planned. Hudson's grin. Dylan already filming before the dare even got said. The way people looked at me instead of them, like they were waiting for my reaction. I didn't answer. That evening, I got a message from Nora. We'd barely talked before. Hey, Levi, can we meet up? There's something you should see. She didn't say what. We met at a coffee shop near her work. She looked nervous, kept glancing around like someone might see us. Hudson's my boyfriend, she said. But after last night, I can't ignore this. She pulled out her phone, opened a group chat between Hudson, Dylan, and Ivy. Hudson's messages sync to his iPad and MacBook, she said. He left the iPad unlocked on the coffee table. I screen recorded the thread and saved stills. The dare was planned days ago. Hudson, make sure Sebastian shows up. Dylan, Levi's gonna just stand there. LOL Ivy. He won't do anything. Trust me. They talked about where people should sit, making sure Dylan got a good angle for the video. When I left the coffee shop after talking to Nora, my head wasn't spinning this time. I wasn't confused anymore. I was mad. Nora had shown me everything. The group chat between Hudson, Dylan, and Ivy, where they planned the dare. It wasn't random. It wasn't some party joke gone too far. It was written out days before like some kind of script. I didn't show much reaction in front of Nora. She already looked uncomfortable being the one to hand me the evidence. Before I left, she said quietly, Levi, I only showed you because it was wrong. The whole thing was wrong. I told her thanks and walked out. That night, Ivy texted me like nothing happened. Hey, what are you doing? I didn't answer. She followed up. Still mad? It was just a game. I put my phone face down and started thinking about my next move. First thing, I wanted the video, the one Dylan filmed. Nora only had the chat screenshots. So I messaged Lily, Dylan's girlfriend. We'd talked a few times at parties. She was nice enough, usually off to the side reading or scrolling while Dylan played entertainer. Hey, I wrote. Random question. Do you know if Dylan still has the video from Hudson's party? She replied fast. Yeah, he's been showing it to people. Why? I told her I was trying to piece together what happened because I was so blindsided. Not angry, just confused. That part wasn't even a lie. She said, I can send it to you. He airdropped it to me Saturday. He wanted it in our party clips shared album. 5 minutes later, the video hit my phone. It was worse than I remembered. Ivy and Sebastian kissing, people laughing, someone yelling, "Levi, your girl just got stolen." Then Dylan zoomed in on my face. You could hear someone say, "Look at him. He's not gonna do anything." And the camera stayed on me for a solid 10 seconds while everyone laughed. I watched it twice, jaw tight, then put my phone down before I threw it. Next day, I reached out to Sebastian. "Hey man, this is Levi. Can we talk? It's about the party." He answered an hour later. "Yeah, sure. We met at a coffee shop near campus." He looked curious, not defensive. I didn't waste time. I put my phone on the table, hit play on the video first. He watched in silence. When it got to the part where people yelled about me not doing anything, his eyebrows went up. Then I slid Nora's screenshots across to him. He read the part about Hudson, making sure I had a clear view. Dylan clearing his phone storage. Ivy saying I wouldn't fight back. His mouth tightened. He read it twice. Finally, he said, "I had no idea. She told me you guys were basically done. She said kissing me would make you realize she wanted out." "Did she mention Hudson or Dylan?" I asked. He shook his head. "No, I thought it was just her idea." This? He tapped the phone screen where the chat was open. "This is messed up. I wouldn't have done it if I knew they were turning it into a show." He leaned back, arms crossed. "Honestly, I feel like an idiot. Like I was used for their entertainment or something." I told him I believed him. Before we left, I asked if he'd back me up if needed. He nodded right away. "Yeah." After seeing this? "Absolutely." That night, Ivy texted again. "Dinner this weekend at my parents'. You're coming, right?" I stared at that message for a long time. She had no clue. Before I did anything else, I wanted Ivy's own words. Screenshots and videos were one thing. I wanted her to admit it. So I texted, "Can we talk tonight? I want to understand what happened." She wrote back instantly, "Of course, babe. I'm glad you're being mature about this." I set my phone to record before going in. We live in a one-party consent state. I'd looked it up the day before, so recording our conversation was legal. She greeted me like nothing was wrong, all smiles. I sat down, kept my tone calm. "I just want to know," I said. "Was it really random? Or did you guys plan that dare?" She laughed like I was being silly. "Levi, it was a party game. You're overthinking it." "Hudson seemed pretty ready with that dare," I said. "And Dylan had his camera out before anything even happened." She shifted on the couch. "Maybe they joked about it earlier." "I don't know." I stayed quiet, just looking at her. Finally, she sighed. "Okay, maybe it was mentioned before, but it wasn't serious." "Mentioned when?" I asked. "A couple days before the party," she admitted. "They thought it would be funny. You get so jealous about everything. It was supposed to show you I can talk to other guys without the world ending." I kept my face neutral while inside everything clicked into place. I left with the recording. Now I had the video, the group chat screenshots, Sebastian ready to back me up, and Ivy admitting it was planned. They thought I wouldn't do anything. They were wrong. By the time Friday rolled around, I had everything lined up. The dinner with Ivy's parents was the perfect opportunity. I kept things normal with Ivy for the next couple of days. When she texted about what time to meet at the restaurant Sunday, I just said, "Yeah, I'll be there." Saturday night, I met with Sebastian at a coffee shop. "I need you there," I told him. Not to fight, not to argue, just to tell the truth. Say exactly what she told you that night. How she claimed we were basically over. How you didn't know Hudson and Dylan had set it all up. He thought about it for a second, then nodded. "I can do that." "Where is it?" "Little Italian place near their neighborhood," I said. "I'll text you when it's time to come over. Just wait at the bar until then, so nobody thinks anything's up. That way he wouldn't sit through the whole dinner looking out of place. He'd only show up when his part mattered." Sunday evening, I printed the group chat screenshots, so there couldn't be any "that looks edited" excuses. I had the video saved on my phone, the recording too. Backed up everything twice. We pulled into the restaurant lot at 6. The place wasn't fancy, but it was quiet enough for conversation. White tablecloths, dim lighting, booths along the walls, low background music. We got a corner booth with high backs. When I played anything on my phone, I kept the volume barely above a whisper and set it between her parents so only our table could hear. Ivy's parents were already there. Her mom stood to hug us both. Her dad shook my hand. We sat down, ordered, and they started talking about their recent trip out west, some hikes they'd done. Ivy chimed in here and there, laughing at the right spots, acting like nothing was wrong. I kept my face neutral, ate my salad, answered a few questions about work, asked about her dad's new fishing gear. Nobody suspected anything. Main courses came and went. Her dad ordered a second coffee. Her mom was on her second glass of wine. Ivy reached across the table and squeezed my hand once, while they were talking about something else. Like we were the perfect couple. Halfway through dessert, her dad leaned back with a smile. "So, Levi," he said, "how have things been with you two? Everything good? Perfect opening." I pulled my phone from my pocket, set it on the table. "Actually," I said, keeping my voice steady, "there's something you should see, because things aren't what they look like." While Ivy frowned in confusion, I sent a quick text to Sebastian. "Come in now." As he made his way from the bar, I pressed play on the video. The clip showed Hudson daring Ivy to kiss Sebastian. Her smiling like she was auditioning for a movie, leaning in, kissing him like they were the only two people there. The cheering. Someone yelling, "Levi, your girl just got stolen!" Dylan zooming in on my face while everyone laughed. I didn't say a word while it played. Ivy shifted in her seat. "Levi, this isn't—" "Hang on," I said, keeping my tone even. "There's more." I slid the printed screenshots across the table to her parents. Group chat messages in black and white. Hudson making sure I'd have a clear view. Dylan talking about camera angles. Ivy typing he won't fight back. Trust me. Her mom read them slowly, lips tightening. I pressed play on the audio recording from my talk with her earlier in the week. Her voice came out clear. Okay, maybe it was mentioned before, but it wasn't serious. Mentioned when? A couple days before the party. They thought it would be funny. You get so jealous about everything. It was supposed to show you I can talk to other guys without the world ending. Her mom put a hand over her mouth. Her dad set the papers, looked to Ivy. "What is this?" Before she could answer, Sebastian arrived at the table. "She told me they were basically over," he said calmly. Said kissing her would just make things clear to him. I didn't know there was a whole plan with Hudson and Dylan and everyone watching. I wouldn't have touched her if I knew it was like this. Her parents turned toward Ivy. She was pale now, shoulders stiff, no words coming out. I stood. "That's all I came to show you. Thought you deserved to know." Her dad cleared his throat. "Levi, thank you for bringing this to us. I had no idea." Her mom just shook her head slowly, still staring at the screenshots like she couldn't believe them. Ivy finally said, "This is being blown way out of proportion. It was a joke." Her dad cut her off sharply. "Stop! This isn't a joke. You planned this?" She didn't answer. I left without raising my voice once. The truth was out now, in full view. The next morning, though, my phone lit up before I even left for work. "Levi, what the hell was that? You blindsided me in front of my parents." I let the first barrage roll past. Another came through. "You're making me look crazy." I let that one sit too. She wasn't angry because she felt innocent. She was angry because the story had slipped out of her hands. By noon, I knew the fallout had already started. Nora texted me. "Hudson's freaking out. People are asking questions." She added a screenshot from a group chat without Ivy in it. Hudson complaining that someone leaked the messages. Dylan saying it wasn't his fault because Levi already had the video anyway. So now they were turning on each other. Around 3, I got a DM from Lily. "Just so you know, I showed the video to a couple people because Dylan wouldn't shut up about it. Now everyone knows you weren't told anything. He made it sound like you just walked out for no reason." She added, "Also, I broke up with him." I asked why. She wrote back, "He laughed about it after you left the party. Said you looked like a statue. Then he joked about posting the clip online. I can't date someone that heartless." So Dylan was officially single now, courtesy of his own big mouth. That night, Sebastian called me. "People are talking," he said. "Ivy texted me saying I betrayed her. Like I'm supposed to cover for her after she lied to me?" Apparently, she told him after the restaurant scene that he'd misunderstood everything and made it worse by speaking up. He told her to lose his number. "She's mad because she can't spin it anymore," he said. Whole story's out. By Tuesday, Hudson posted some long message on his private story about fake friends and people who can't take a joke. Nora sent it to me with the caption, "He's melting down." Then she added, "Also, I'm done with him. Moving out next month." That plan changed fast. Once more receipts dropped, Hudson packed a bag and left first. So Hudson lost his girlfriend and, judging by the screenshots floating around, a good chunk of his friend group too. Meanwhile, Ivy finally decided to call. I let it ring the first time, answered the second. "Why are you doing this?" she asked immediately. "No hello, no how are you?" "Doing what?" I said. "Telling everyone like I'm some villain. It was a joke, Levi, a joke that got out of hand." "You planned it for days," I said. "You had people filming. You humiliated me on purpose. You're acting like I cheated." "You might as well have," I said. She went silent for a second, then said, "You're ruining my life over this." "No," I told her. "You ruined your own life. I just showed people what you did." She hung up. 2 hours later, Nora texted me again. She's calling everyone saying you're obsessive. Nobody's buying it though. Apparently, once people saw the screenshots and heard the audio of her admitting it was planned, there wasn't much left for her to argue. On Wednesday, things hit another level. Someone sent me a screen recording of Dylan's old story posts from the night of the party. Him laughing, zooming in on my face, captioning it with crying laughing emojis. People started commenting on it, tagging him, asking why he thought humiliating someone was so funny. By the afternoon, his account was locked. Sebastian told me he ran into a couple guys from the party at the gym. They said they had no idea it was planned, he told me. Said if they knew, they wouldn't have laughed. So the story spreading now wasn't Levi overreacted. It was Ivy and her crew set him up. Thursday evening, I was walking out of work when I saw 3 missed calls from Ivy. Then a long text. You win. Everyone hates me. Are you happy now? I ignored the next few messages. Friday night, Nora called. You should know, she said. Hudson's blaming Ivy for all of it now. Says it was her idea and he just went along. I laughed once. That's funny, because those messages had his name all over them. Yeah, she said. Nobody's buying his story either. By midweek, the whole friend group was fractured. Nora had left Hudson. Lily was done with Dylan. Sebastian blocked Ivy. People unfollowed her one by one after seeing the evidence. What started as them laughing at me had turned into everyone looking at them like they were the punchline. Sunday afternoon, Sebastian sent me one last message. She texted me again, saying we made her look evil. I told her she did that herself. I just wrote back, good, because by then, it wasn't just about me anymore. People saw them differently now. The ones who filmed, the ones who laughed, the ones who planned it all out. The group that thought humiliating someone was entertainment didn't look like the fun crowd anymore. They looked cruel. By Saturday, the group chats had gone quiet. Then Ivy showed up. I was on my way back from the gym when she was waiting near my apartment entrance. Arms crossed, face tight, phone in hand like she'd been rehearsing whatever she was about to say. The second she saw me, she walked fast. No hello, no small talk. We need to talk, she said flatly. I unlocked the door, let her in, and leaned against the counter while she paced. You're ruining everything, she started. My parents barely look at me right now. Half my friends won't even answer my texts. Do you feel good about that? I didn't answer immediately, so she kept going. All because you couldn't handle one stupid joke. You took it and turned everyone against me like some kind of villain. You planned it, I said evenly. With Hudson, with Dylan. You made sure it was recorded. You made sure I was standing right there. That's not a joke, Ivy. That's cruelty. She shook her head hard. No, what's cruel is you leaking everything to people who weren't even involved. You embarrassed me in front of my parents. You made me look like a psychopath. You did that to yourself, I said. I just stopped letting you hide it. She stopped pacing, turned to face me fully. You act like you're some saint, she snapped. But you've been plotting this whole revenge thing for weeks. Gathering videos, messages, recordings, like some obsessed ex who can't handle getting dumped. Dumped? I raised an eyebrow. We were still together when you kissed him, remember? Or do you only call it dating when it makes you look better? Her jaw clenched. People break up all the time, she said. But you had to turn it into a witch hunt. Now Hudson's done with Nora. Dylan's single. Everyone hates me. All because you couldn't take a joke. You keep saying joke like it means anything, I told her. A joke is funny for everyone. What you did was humiliate me for sport. That's when she said it. The thing that made her look worse than anything else so far. Maybe you deserved it, she snapped. You're so boring, Levi. You never fight back, never do anything. I thought if you finally saw how little control you have, maybe you'd stop being so pathetic all the time. I stared at her. So this was a lesson? That's what you're calling it? She froze for a second like she hadn't meant to say it out loud. And here's the part she didn't know. My neighbor from 2 doors down was standing in the hallway the whole time, because I'd left the door cracked. He heard every word. The guy's name was Aaron. We weren't close, but he knew about the video because half the building had seen it by now. And Aaron had his phone out. He wasn't filming me. He was filming her. The moment she said I deserved it, that she thought humiliating me might teach me a lesson, he caught it all. She noticed him right after. Are you serious? She yelled toward the door. You're recording this? Aaron didn't even flinch. Everyone deserves to know what you're like when nobody's watching. She turned back to me. You set this up. I shook my head. No, you set this up. Just like the party. Difference is, now people see the real you. She grabbed her phone like she was about to call someone, then froze again when she realized nobody was left to help her spin the story. Hudson was busy defending himself. Dylan was hiding. Nora and Lily were done with all of them. She had nobody. Erin sent me the clip, and I forwarded it to Nora. She dropped it into the same group chat where Hudson and Dylan had been melting down for days. The reaction was instant. People who had been neutral before started commenting, "So she admits it was on purpose? Teaching him a lesson? What is wrong with you?" Hudson tried to chime in with something about it all being taken out of context, but Nora shut him down by reposting the original planning screenshots again. Dylan didn't say a word, probably because Lily had already shared how he laughed about posting the video online before the backlash hit. By midnight, half the people from that party had either blocked Ivy, Hudson, or Dylan, or left the group chats completely. Around 1 in the morning, Ivy sent me one last message. "You got what you wanted. I hope you're proud of yourself." I didn't reply. It was about the truth being louder than her version of events for the first time since this whole thing started. By Sunday afternoon, word had spread outside the original circle. People who weren't even at the party knew about the kiss, the plan, the video, the recordings. Hudson's reputation tanked when everyone realized he'd hosted a setup like it was a comedy show. Dylan was a punchline for filming it and then bragging. And Ivy? She was the one admitting on camera that it was all to teach me a lesson. What started as them trying to embarrass me had ended with them isolating themselves completely, and I hadn't had to twist a single fact to make it happen. By Monday morning, it felt like the entire story had left my hands and taken on a life of its own. People I didn't even know were messaging me on Instagram about the video of Ivy at my apartment saying I deserved it. That clip spread faster than the original party video because it showed the truth in her own words. Nora texted me first thing. Hudson tried telling people the video was fake. Someone posted the planning screenshots again. He shut up fast. Lily messaged a few minutes later. Dylan's blaming everyone but himself. Nobody's buying it. So now all three of them, Ivy, Hudson, and Dylan, were officially out of excuses. By noon, Ivy finally snapped and posted on her story for the first time since everything blew up. A long block of text on a black background. "People love drama. One mistake and suddenly everyone's a saint judging you. I don't owe anyone an explanation." The replies weren't what she expected. People asked if she considered one mistake to be days of planning, group chats, secret filming, and then admitting on camera she did it to teach me a lesson. She deleted the story within an hour. That afternoon, Sebastian called. "She tried blaming me today," he said. "Told some people I knew about the plan from the start. I sent them the screenshots of her telling me we were basically over. Nobody believed her after that, so she was burning the few bridges she had left. When Ivy finally texted me again, it was short. 'We need to talk. In person.' I didn't reply. She showed up that evening anyway, same as before. Arms crossed, face set like she was preparing to win an argument. 'You've ruined my entire life,' she said, the second I opened the door. 'Do you get that? My parents won't even talk to me. Nora moved out. Everyone thinks I'm some evil mastermind because you wanted revenge. You humiliated me on purpose,' I said. 'You planned it, filmed it, laughed about it. Now you want sympathy?' She shook her head. 'You didn't have to go nuclear. You could have handled it privately. But no, you wanted to destroy me because you can't stand not being in control.' I shook my head. 'No, you destroyed yourself. I just stopped keeping your secret.' She threw her hands up. 'It was supposed to be funny.' She glared like the world owed her an audience. I didn't argue. There was nothing left to say. That night, someone sent me a screenshot from another group chat. Ivy had posted a long paragraph about how everyone turned on her because Levi couldn't handle losing, and how people were jealous of the confidence she brought into every room. The replies tore her apart. Someone dropped the video of her calling it a lesson. Someone else posted the screenshot of her telling Hudson I wouldn't fight back. A third person reminded everyone how she laughed while showing off the original party clip. She left the chat 5 minutes later. By Wednesday, Hudson was out of the apartment he shared with Nora. She blocked him everywhere after finding out he'd kept copies of the video and bragged about it to his coworkers. Dylan deleted his Instagram after Lily told everyone he laughed about posting the clip online before the backlash started. Sebastian got messages from people apologizing for laughing that night, saying they didn't know the whole thing was staged. And Ivy? She sent one final text late Thursday night. "You'll regret this when everyone forgets in a month and I'm still the one people talk about." There was nothing left to say. By the weekend, it was over. The group chats were gone. The videos stopped circulating because everyone had already seen them. The story burned itself out once there was nothing left to argue about. Ivy disappeared offline completely. Hudson kept his account private. Dylan vanished too. Nora and Lily started hanging out together without either of them. Sebastian joined once or twice. I got invited, but I only went once. I wasn't looking for new friends out of this. What satisfied me most wasn't the social collapse, or the texts, or the silence from Ivy's parents. It was knowing they all thought I'd roll over forever, that I'd let them laugh at me, film me, plan it behind my back, and keep my mouth shut. They expected me to stay quiet, but the moment I stopped playing along, their whole story fell apart. YouTube just dropped this new hype feature. If you're hooked on this story, smash that hype button. It tells YouTube this video deserves to blow up, and it keeps even crazier stories coming your way.